kort samenvatting geven van zijn biografie. In 1970 werd Maharaj geïntroduceerd in het Krishna-bewustzijn nadat hij de boeken van Srila Prabhupada tegenkwam. Hij verliet zijn carrière en sloot zich aan bij de Hare Krishna tempel in Londen als een brahmachari en was onderdeel van de Sankirtan groep. Maharaj komt oorspronkelijk uit Schotland. Op 22-jarige leeftijd zocht Maharaj onderdak en nam hij Harinaam of de eerste initiatie aan bij lotusvoeten van Srila Prabhupada in Londen in de zomer van 1971. Een jaar later ontving hij zijn tweede initiatie. Maharaj nam sannyas in 1994 en sindsdien heeft hij gepredikt in landen zoals China, de Filipijnen, Thailand, Maleisië, Singapore, Vietnam en het Midden-Oosten. En zelfs in Vladivostok in Rusland. Een bewijs van zijn toewijding aan het prediken is zijn vastberadenheid om de Chinese taal te leren door naar de universiteit in China te gaan. Zodat hij met de lokale bevolking zou kunnen communiceren over onze filosofie en dat zo aan hen te presenteren. Hij is een autoriteit op de Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam en de Chaitanya Charitamrita en andere vereerde geschriften over Bhakti Yoga. Hij maakt de oude wijsheid heel toegankelijk, praktisch en herkenbaar voor iedereen. Of het nou zijn voor kinderen, tieners, gezinshoofden of ouderen. Hij is al meer dan 10 jaar docent aan het Mayapur Institute. En Maharaj leidt ook de jaarlijkse Navadvip Mandala Parikram. Dus mag ik graag 1 luide Haribol voor Bhakti Vigna Vinasa Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj. Het is nog gedaan. Hij heeft dat.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
later, ja? Oké.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So today is the auspicious day of Snan Yatra. You have just completed the bathing of their lordships, Jagannath, Lord Baladev, and Subhadra Maharani. The three are one family. The family members came and took bath together. Today is actually considered the birthday of Lord Jagannath. So it often happens on the birthday of the child. When the child is born, they will bathe the child, right? Actually, I travel a lot in China. So one place I visited in China, it's a very dry area. You know, not like here. Quite green and damp and wet, you know. So there's this one part of China where I was visiting, very dry. River is there, Huanghe means the yellow river. So because it's so dry there, the people are not able to take baths. And they told me that actually in their whole life, they take bath twice. And they take bath then once when they're born, and the second time when they get married. It's very dry. So anyway, that was an unusual situation. Not usually like that, but it was a remote region. It was a village area. You know, the people were away from civilization. There was no running water. There was only the river. So anyway, Lord Jagannath, Lord Baladev and Subhadra Maharani, they bathed today. We said this is their birthday. The Lord appears. When does he appear? Well, he appeared by the grace of Indrajumna Maharaj. That Indrajumna Maharaj desired to see the Lord. He wanted to see the Lord of the universe. And it happened that he was instructed that when 3 logs of wood were washed ashore, they should enlist a carpenter to sculpture the form of the Lord from the 3 logs of wood. And the only carpenter who could do it was a leper. This man with leprosy came. He was actually Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma is the architect of the demigods, and he came in the form of this leper. And he came and he did the carving. But of course he went into a room and he said the condition is that nobody should disturb me. If anybody will disturb me, then I will finish. I will not do any more. And so they promised this leper, no problem, we will not disturb you. And so he went into a room, closed the room, and Indrajumna Maharaj and other devotees, they were all waiting outside. They were anxious to see the form of the Lord. And they could hear him chipping, you know, using the hammer and chisel as he chipped away at the wood. They could hear the sound. And it went on for several days. But then, after some days, there was no more sound. And Indrajumna Maharaj became very anxious. What has happened? Why is there no sound? Maybe he's finished. And so Indrajumna Maharaj went and opened the door, went into the room, and immediately the leper disappeared from the place. And then Indrajumna Maharaj at that time, he saw the 3 forms of the Lord. He saw the Supreme Lord Jagannath. Lord Baladev is the spiritual master, a representation of the spiritual master, and Subhadra Maharani is the Yogamaya potency. So the 3 lords appeared, but Indrajumna Maharaj was shocked because he thought, oh no, the forms are incomplete. There were no arms and no legs. And he was feeling very ashamed that I have disturbed the work. And he's gone now, and he doesn't want to finish the carving. He doesn't want to finish the carving. How will we ever worship the Lord in this form? But then a voice came from the heavens, a divine voice came from the heavens and instructed Indrajumna Maharaj that it is my desire to be worshipped in this way. That this form of mine, in which it appears that I have no arms and no legs, and in which the eyes are also dilated, he said, this is my form in the ecstasy of love of my devotees. Lord Jagannath, Lord Balaram and Subhadra Maharani, they all love the devotees, and they're in the ecstasy of love for the devotees, and it's caused their arms and legs to shrink into their bodies and their eyeballs to dilate, to become expanded, to become big. Just like something, you may hear something which surprises you and you go, oh, like that. So the eyes open up. And so the same way when Lord Jagannath and Lord Balaram and Subhadra Maharani, when they're remembering the devotees of Vrindavan, at that time, they're in great ecstasy, in love of their devotees. And their arms and legs shrank into their bodies, and their eyeballs were dilated. So this is a manifestation of the love which the Lord has for his devotees. So we observe this every year. We have this Snan Yatra. Lord Jagannath is brought out from the temple and he is given the ceremonial bath. And then after being bathed, then it's customary that the three deities are taken into a private room. And they will remain in that room for some 15 days. And during this time, during that period of time, the Lordship should be given special food, because it's said that they're not very well. They've got some sickness, just like if you bathe in this cold weather, and if you bathe maybe with cold water, then maybe you could easily get sick. Anyway, their lordships are put into a room, a private room, and then they are served with special food. Just like if one of your children gets sick, then you take care of them. You give them special food. You give them some nice refreshing drinks which will help them to get their energy back. And you give them food which is easy to digest. And in this way, Lord Jagannath and Lord Balaram and Subhadra Maharani, they are treated like that. That they're in privacy. They're taken off of the altar. There's no darshan. And they're in the room. They're not meeting anyone because they're not very well. Of course, during this period, usually what happens is the Lord will be painted again. Fresh paint will be put on his divine body. And when it comes time for the Rath Yatra festival, at that time the Lord appears refreshed. Particularly in Jagannath Puri, the deities there, the paint which they use is more it's more like a watercolor, and when they're bathed, then the paint will wash off easily. And in the course of their worship throughout the year, a lot of the paint also comes off. So they have to be refreshed. Just like, ladies, they will put makeup on, the same way Lord Jagannath puts on his makeup, the paint which is going on his divine body. So Lord Jagannath, this is his pastime. He's enjoying these pastimes for the pleasure of his devotees. During this period, of course, when the Lord is taken from the altar and there's no darshan, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying in Jagannath Puri, and at that time there's no darshan anymore. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go to what was the name of that place? Al-Alana, thank you, yes, thank you, Mataji. Al-Alana, which is about 30 kilometers away from Jagannath Puri. And there's an ancient temple there of Al-Alana. It's supposed to be a Vishnu temple. It's a four-armed form of the Lord. Lord Chaitanya would go there and he would be in great ecstasy there, because that deity of Alanath, although it's a Vishnu form, it is worshipped with Krishna mantras. So it's unusual that it's a form of Lord Vishnu, but the priests will worship the deity with mantras addressing him as Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna, of course, is two arms, but this is a four-armed form. So it is explained that actually this form of Lord Vishnu at Alanath, this is actually the form of Lord Krishna when he's hiding from the gopis. We know that in the pastimes of Lord Krishna would be in the forest and with the gopis and dancing Rasa Leela. But sometimes Lord Krishna would enjoy tricks with them, and he would go and leave them. He would go and hide from them, and the gopis would be searching everywhere for him. And it's said that sometimes Lord Krishna would disguise himself, that when they were looking for him, he would appear in a four-armed form. And so the gopis came through the forest of Braja and they saw Lord Narayan. They thought it to be Lord Narayan. And they came and they offered their obeisances to the Lord. And then they asked Lord Narayan, "Did you see Krishna anywhere?" Although they were able to have darshan of Lord Narayan, they were still thinking, we want to see Krishna. It is Krishna, Lord Krishna, who's the Lord of our hearts. And they came and they met Narayan and they offered their obeisances and they asked, "Can you tell us where is Krishna? Which way?" And Lord Krishna, who was in this form of Narayan, he tricked them and said, "Oh, he went that way." And the gopis would go running off to try to find Krishna. But when Srimati Radharani would come, then Lord Krishna would no longer be able to restrain himself. And he could not continue hiding himself in the form of Narayan. And his four-armed form again became two arms. And he revealed himself to Srimati Radharani as Lord Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we say Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come there and he's in the mood of Radha. He wants to experience this Radha Bhav because he knows the greatest pleasure is in being the devotee. Lord Krishna wants to enjoy, and he always thought of himself as being the supreme enjoyer. But when he appeared 5,000 years ago, he saw that the gopis of Vrindavan were enjoying much, millions of times more than him. And he thought, they're enjoying so much more than me. I should be enjoying. How can I enjoy like them? And so therefore, he came in his next incarnation. He came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but in the mood of a devotee. He wants to cultivate the mood of the devotee. And he wants to cultivate that Radha Bhav. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was at Alanath, he was in such ecstasy. He was in such ecstasy that even the floor, the marble on the floor, the stone floor melted due to contact with the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And you can go there today, you can see how the floor is indented today from the ecstatic feelings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu would remain there at Alanath until the period is over, until it's time for Rath Yatra. And then when it comes time for Rath Yatra, then he would come back to Jagannath Puri and he would meet all the devotees who had come from Bengal. So in this way, we are observing also Snan Yatra, the Lord Jagannath bathed, and then you have to wait 15 days and then have Rath Yatra. And Rath Yatra, the Lord appears for his festival to bring him to Gundicha. So, do you also have Rath Yatra plans here?
Yes,
I'm going to have Rath Yatra. Good. Yeah. Very nice. So, of course, in Jagannath Puri, we will take the deities out and bring the deities to Nila, down from the main temple in Jagannath Puri, bring him to Gundicha, bring the deities down to Gundicha. And there the Lord will stay for 7 days, because that is Vrindavan. And he has come, the mood of Rath Yatra is bringing the Lord to Vrindavan. So he would remain there for 7 days, and then on the 8th day come back again. In Calcutta, the devotees of ISKCON in Calcutta, they managed to do their Rath Yatra in that manner. They will have a festival to bring the deities. They will take the festivals to some location where the deities will stay there for a week, and every day there will be big programs and huge prasadam distribution, and then after a week, then the deities are brought back. So they have the return Rath Yatra. So it's a bit difficult to organize all these things, but that is the actual mode of Rath Yatra and how they perform it in Jagannath Puri. So we are trying to also develop that same mode by having our Rath Yatra. It's a very important festival, And Srila Prabhupada always liked to come and take part in Rath Yatras all around the world. We saw Prabhupada in London. He came in London. Whenever we had Rath Yatra, he liked to be there. And one year he was also walking in the parade and dancing in ecstasy. So Srila Prabhupada had, of course, from his very childhood, he'd been observing Rath Yatra. And when he began preaching in the West, then it happened that Lord Jagannath had also appeared. And so he instructed the devotees that they could also do Rath Yatra. And over the years, we have developed the Rath Yatra festivals, more and more centers putting on Rath Yatra, and the festivals becoming more and more opulent, more and more grand, more and more people. So this is certainly very pleasing to Srila Prabhupada. So today is also an auspicious day. There's the disappearance of two very important personalities in the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One was Mukunda Datta. He disappeared on this day. Mukunda Datta was a childhood friend of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They had grown up together, and Mahaprabhu, we know when he was a young boy, he was in his pastimes of being a scholar, and he was very learned in logic, and he would often argue, and he would often argue with people like Mukunda Datta. There were two brothers, Mukunda Datta and Vasudeva Datta. It says they were both in the previous life in Krishna Lila. They were two gopis who were singers in Vrindavan. So Mukunda Datta, he grew up with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu used to tease him. He used to argue with him. Nobody could defeat Lord Chaitanya when he was a Pandit. Even Digvijay Keshava Kashmiri came, he could not defeat Nimai Pandit. Lord Chaitanya was so learned and scholarly. He opened his own school when he was only some 12 years old. And he was teaching Nyaya, or logic. So anyway, Mukunda was a very wonderful singer, and he could sing beautifully verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam, and he would do on different occasions. One particular occasion, it happened that Pundarik Vijayanidhi came to visit Navadvip. So Mukunda Datta had told to Gadadhar that there's a great devotee coming. You must come and meet him. So Gadadhar was a brahmachari, and he was very renounced. You know, brahmachari sometimes, you know, they won't eat anything, they're very thin, and then they just have old cloth, and they're very austere. So Gadadhar was a bit like that. He was very renounced and very detached from the material world. So anyway, he heard Mukunda Datta told him, great devotee is coming. You have to come and see him. Nimai Pandit has told us this man is a great devotee. Pundarik Vijayanidhi. he was a wealthy man. He was a landowner with a big estate. Sometimes we get Bengali people coming from the same village as where Pundarik Vijayanidhi came from. Even one of the land which he had, it's been given to ISKCON in Bangladesh. The place where Pundarik Vijayanidhi was staying. That's been given to ISKCON, and we have cultivated the land. We have a nice temple there now. So Pundarik Vijayanidhi, he because he was a wealthy man, he dressed very nicely. And he had many, Bengalis, many rings on the finger, every finger some ring, and some nice jewelry. And he had also his hair also nicely, his hair was all set. And then on the table, they put a lot of sherbet and different namkins and different things for him to eat and to drink. And Gadadhar Pandit came there and he saw all of it, and he saw that there was somebody fanning him also, the peacock fans. And Gadadhar came there and thought, what kind of devotee is this? He's a materialist. He's a Vishayi. Look at this. So opulent. This is all sense gratification. So Gadadhar was thinking. He did not say anything, but he was thinking like this. He was sneering. And Mukunda Datta was watching, and he understood his mind that, he doesn't know that Pundarik is such a great devotee. So Mukunda Datta began to sing, and he began to sing beautifully, so beautifully, the verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Aho Bhakiyam Stanakala Tukkutam Charam Sayapayan Adhapya Sadvi. He sings this very nice verse which is there in the third canto, where Uddhava is speaking about no one knows how merciful Lord Krishna is. That how could anybody be so merciful as Lord Krishna? That Kalakala Kutam, that this woman came with poison on her breast to feed the poison to Krishna. And Lord Krishna took her and accepted her and brought her as one of his nurses to the spiritual world. So this verse is there in Srimad Bhagavatam, and Mukunda sang it very nice. And when Pundarik Vijayanidhi heard the verse, he became stunned, and his whole body, his hairs all stood on end. He felt horripulations, all kinds of ecstasy. He fell off his seat. He rolled on the ground, crying and crying. The whole floor flooded with tears from his eyes. Everybody was, they had never seen this before. So much ecstasy, so much bhava was aroused in Pundarik Vijayanidhi. He rolled on the ground crying and shedding tears for hours. Gadadhar was shocked. Oh, what a devotee. He is a great devotee. And Gadadhar thought, I have offended him. So then Gadadhar reflected, and he thought, I should take initiation from him. I will accept him as my spiritual master. So Gadadhar went to Lord Chaitanya, and he took permission, took the blessings from Lord Chaitanya, and then he came back and he requested Pundarik Vijayanidhi. you kindly give me initiation. So on a suitable day, on an appropriate day, on auspicious day, Pundarik Vijanidhi accepted Kedarhatam as his disciple. So Pundarik Vijanidhi, he is recognized as being the incarnation of Maharaj Vrishabhanu, because Kedarhat is the expansion of Srimati Radharani. Anyway, this whole initiation was initiated by Mukunda Datta. It was Mukunda Datta who sang the verse from the Bhagavatam, which aroused the Baba in Pundarik Vijanidhi. So Mukunda Datta would do like that. He would sing, and he would give so much pleasure to Lord Chaitanya. When Lord Chaitanya came back from Gaya, he'd taken initiation in Gaya, and then he'd gone to Kanai Natsala. Kanai Natsala. Have any of you been to Kanai Natsala? Oh, your life is wasted. You never went to Kanai Natsala. Kanai Natsala is the most amazing, mystical place. It's on the bank of the Ganges. It is said that when Lord Krishna disappears from Rasa Lila, sometimes he will go there to Kanai Natsala. So it's a very special place. Lord Chaitanya came there after taking initiation in Gaya. And when he was in Kanai Natsala, Lord Krishna appeared to him. And then he disappeared. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was feeling the separation from Krishna. So after coming from Kanai Natsala, he came back to Mayapur, and he was very transformed. He had taken initiation, and he then had that experience with Lord Krishna in Kanai Natsala, and he came back to Mayapur, and he was very he was no longer a scholar. Now he was the devotee, and Mukunda would sing different songs. He would sing different verses from the scriptures, and in this way Lord Chaitanya would feel so much pleasure. However, Mukunda also had some difficulties sometimes, because sometimes he would go to other places. He would not just only associate with the devotees, but sometimes he would go and associate with the Mayavadis. So it happened, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was exhibiting his divinity, and he was sitting on the throne of Lord Vishnu for 21 hours. And during this time, he was calling different devotees to come, and he would give them blessings. So they said to him at one point, "What about Mukunda? You should give Mukunda blessing." Lord Chaitanya said, "Mukunda, I will not give him blessings for many, many, many years. Not for 1,000 years. Not for a long time." And the devotees were all shocked. But Mukunda was actually joyful, because he understood that, oh, after a long time, I will get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya was not willing to meet him now, but after a long time, I will meet. So in this way, Mukunda felt relieved. Lord Chaitanya was saying that this Mukunda is a rascal. He comes with us and he talks bhakti, very good, yes, Mahamantra, chant the holy name, very good. But then he goes to the Mayavadis, and they're talking from Yoga Vasishta. The goal of life is liberation. And he's saying, yes, mukti, very good, yes, very good, mukti, we should get moksha. And in this way he's talking so many things. So this Mukunda is a charlatan. One day he's a devotee, other day he's a Mayavadi. What kind of devotee is this? So this is why Lord Chaitanya was chastising him. He wanted to purify him from this tendency to go here and there. You know, sometimes, you know, you get people like that. Oh, well, anyway, wherever there's prasadam, we'll go there. Anyway, wherever there's the chanting of the Hare Krishna, it's all the same. People think it's all the same. We had experience. There was one person, also in China. You get everything in China. There was one person, a lady actually. She said, Lord Krishna told me to write the Bhagavad Gita. She said the Bhagavad Gita too old. Lord Krishna told me to write another book. So she'd written another book. And she attracted people. She got followers. And we would ask them, you know, why are you going to her? And they said, well, she chants Hare Krishna. What's the difference? It's the same. It's all the same. So people don't always understand that you may be worshipping Krishna, Radha and Krishna, you may be chanting Hare Krishna, but what is the mode? There are devotees and there are Mayavadis. Mayavadis, they're also worshipping Krishna, but they're thinking one day I will become Krishna and I won't worship anymore. So they have that thinking when they're doing when they're chanting, when they're reading Bhagavad Gita, they're thinking one day we will become one and we'll give up all this. They're thinking the acts of devotion are the means to merging into the oneness. Their motive is to give up all the acts of devotion. So that is the Mayavadi. We understand that devotion is eternal. We're chanting Hare Krishna and we'll go on chanting Hare Krishna in the spiritual world also. Service to Krishna is eternal. We're practicing to serve Krishna here, and one day we will go to the kingdom of God and serve Lord Krishna there. We won't give up service to Krishna. We're always a servant. We don't become one. We do not merge into the body of the Lord. That kind of liberation is never acceptable by a devotee. That is what is taught in books like Yoga Vasishta. And Mukunda was going and hearing all this stuff. So Lord Chaitanya chastised him that he will never get my association, not for thousands of years. Oh, Mukunda thought, after thousands of years I will get his association. Oh, very good, I'm so fortunate. And so when Lord Chaitanya heard that Mukunda was waiting so patiently, that he was ready to wait such a long time to get the association of the Lord, then Lord Chaitanya said, bring him here. And then Lord Chaitanya told him, don't go here and there. Be chaste and stay and hear about Krishna through the parampara from the authorized channels. Don't just go here and there and everywhere. Be faithful to the spiritual teachers. So in this way Mukunda was rectified. And Mukunda was a very dear devotee of Lord Chaitanya, that when Lord Chaitanya took sannyas, it was Mukunda who went with him. He was one of the few who went. Lord Nityananda, Chandrasekhar, and Mukunda. They went with Lord Chaitanya. Well, they didn't go with Lord Chaitanya, but they went to Katwa. Lord Chaitanya himself, he swam across the Ganga to get to Katwa. But somehow, Lord Nityananda and Mukunda and Chandrasekhar, they also came there. Initially, Lord Chaitanya had told Mukunda, I'm going to take sannyas. Mukunda said, oh, please wait for some more time. Let's have some more Sankirtan before you take sannyas. So at the request of Mukunda, Lord Chaitanya delayed taking sannyas a few days. Mukunda liked very much to do Sankirtan in the association of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they all went to Katwa, which is on the other side of the Ganga, and that's where the ashram of Keshava Bharati is. And Lord Chaitanya had his sannyas ceremony there, and all the paraphernalia was arranged by Mukunda and Chandrasekhar and Lord Nityananda. And then they all went off. First they went to Advaita Acharya's house, to Shantipur, and they had festivals there for several days. Sachi came with all the devotees. And then, at the request of Mother Sachi, Lord Chaitanya went to Jagannath Puri. Initially, he was going to go to Vrindavan. Lord Chaitanya, when he took sannyas, initially he wanted to go to Vrindavan. But he was tricked. Lord Nityananda tricked him, and they brought him to Shantipur, to the home of Advaita. And then Mother Sachi came, and Mother Sachi saw her son. Oh, he's no hair anymore. Very interesting. One time, many years ago, BBC television, they came to our temple, you know, and they made some movie, some program about devotees. So they interviewed one of the devotees' mother, you know. They interviewed this devotee's mother, you know, what about your son becoming a Hare Krishna? And all she could say was, oh, my son, he used to have such lovely hair. That was her feeling, that my son used to have such a nice head of hair. Now he's shaven-headed. So Mother Sachi saw Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya also had beautiful hair, and of course he had shaved off his hair, and he'd given up the nice cloth which he was wearing to wear the clothes of a renunciate, a sannyasi, unstitched cloth. So Lord Chaitanya told his mother, well, I could come back with you if I made a mistake, I did it too quickly, I didn't think about it, I will come home with you. Mother Sachi said, no, don't do that. That will be worse. That will be terrible. She said, it's not good that you're a sannyasi, but it will be even worse if you give up the sannyas. Now you've taken it, now you must keep the vow. But please, Mother Sachi requested her son, please don't go to Vrindavan, because if you go to Vrindavan, it will be very difficult for me to get news of you. But go to Jagannath Puri. Jagannath Puri and Navadvip are like two rooms in the same house. Just like if you live in the same house with someone, you may be in different rooms, but you know what's going on. So she go to Jagannath Puri. So in this way, Lord Chaitanya then left to go to Jagannath Puri, and Mukunda Datta went with him, along with Lord Nityananda and Chandrasekhar. They followed Lord Chaitanya to Puri. And Mukunda Datta, every year he would come to Jagannath Puri to see Lord Chaitanya. At the time of Rath Yatra, he would come, attend the Rath Yatra, and he would stay there in Jagannath Puri to be with Lord Chaitanya and enjoy the association. So today is the disappearance day of Mukunda Datta, and it's also the disappearance day of Sridhar Pandit. Sridhar Pandit is actually Kolaveksha Sridhar, meaning he was the one who was making his living by selling bananas. And he didn't have many bananas. He only had a few banana trees, he had a few bananas. He was making a very difficult living to support himself. But Lord Chaitanya used to go there. As a young boy, he used to go there to see Kolaveka Sridhar, and he would always argue the price. You know, sometimes it's difficult to be a shopkeeper. Customers come, they argue the price. So Nimai Pandit would come and he would always argue the price that, oh, you're cheating me, this is not a fair price. And Sridhar would feel so disturbed, he'd end up saying, oh, just take whatever you want, just take, just go, just take whatever you want and go. And like this, the Lord Chaitanya would come and tease Sridhar regularly, taking bananas and banana flowers from him. So Lord Chaitanya had grown up and he was sitting on the throne that day and he was calling people to come and get blessings. He told the devotees, bring Sridhar to me. The devotees said, Sridhar? Who's that? We don't know any Sridhar. They didn't even know who he was. Lord Chaitanya said, you go through the woods there, in the middle of the trees, you will hear from the cottage there, somebody chanting the holy name. So the devotees went there, and sure enough, they found there was this very broken down little cottage in the middle of the trees. And inside that cottage, they could hear a voice chanting the holy name with great faith and devotion. So they came in and they brought Sridhar. They brought Sridhar to see Lord Chaitanya. You know, Lord Chaitanya wants to see you, come. So Lord Chaitanya saw Sridhar and he said to Sridhar, he said, Sridhar, your house is in ruins and your cloth is all ragged and with holes. You don't even have a proper pot to drink water from. You're drinking water from this old iron rusty pot. So Lord Chaitanya was requesting Sridhar, what blessing can I give you? Do you want wealth? Do you want a kingdom? Tell me, what can I give you? Because I see your condition, it is not very pleasing to me. You're so poor. But Kolaveka Sridhar said, oh my Lord, why are you testing me? Every day, whatever my income is, I will spend 50% to worship Mother Ganga. And in this way, I am happy. I am maintaining myself in my own simple way. The bird lives in its nest in the trees, and the king is living in his palace. Everyone is suffering and enjoying according to our past activities. Why I should change anything? Let me go on doing as I am doing. Let me continue to spend half of my income every day to worship Mother Ganga. So Lord Chaitanya very much appreciated the pure love of Kulavika Sridhar. And it happened after Lord Chaitanya had gone to the Chankazi and had the debate with the Chankazi. When they were coming back, Lord Chaitanya brought the Sankirtan party past the house of Sridhar. And outside the house of Sridhar, there was this one pot which Sridhar used to wash his feet. It was an old iron pot with water. And Sridhar would come back after being out in the fields. He would wash his feet. Lord Chaitanya came there and he took that pot and he drank the water from that pot to show his respect for Sridhar. Of course, it was very painful to Sridhar. Sridhar did not like to see Lord Chaitanya drink that water. But Lord Chaitanya said, "Today I have tasted great nectar. This is the most relishable water." So today is also the day in which Kulavika Sridhar departed from the world, a very dear devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we're remembering them and we're praying for their mercy. We're remembering also Lord Jagannath and how Lord Jagannath is also maybe not well after his bathing, and we won't be able to have his, oh, we can still have his darshan today. Are you going to take them off the altar tomorrow? Are you going to observe that? No. Okay. Okay, any questions? Anybody, any question?
Next.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes?
Pranam.
Hare
Jai Shri Prabhupada. You have explained us about the ecstasy of the Lord by when he was with shrunken arms and legs. And is it possible to explain a little bit more about that ecstasy part? Because we have heard, of course, a lot more times about these wonderful pastimes, and thank you very much for that. But what about his ecstasy? How he is contributing that towards us, and what can we do to grow more towards his way of ecstasy?
Yes, we learn from the Nectar of Devotion that devotional service is on 3 levels. There's sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, and prema bhakti. Sadhana bhakti, devotional service in practice. Bhava bhakti, devotional service in ecstasy. And prema bhakti, devotional service in love of God. What can we do to come to that level of bhava bhakti? Well, one day we want to also experience that kind of ecstasy when we hear the verses from the scriptures, when we chant the holy name. We should feel some kind of ecstasy in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, it said, certainly that heart is still framed, which does not feel ecstasy in spite of chanting the holy name. So, what can we do to come to that level of bhava? Well, what we have to do is sadhana. By practicing good sadhana, one day it will happen. One day you will come to that level. You go on hearing and chanting. Srila Prabhupada used to tell us that Shravanam Kirtan are the roots of the creeper of devotion. If we go on practicing sadhana bhakti, one day will happen. We will come to that level of bhava. We have to follow the process. As Lord Krishna says, Yeya tamam prabhajante tam stataiva bhajami. As you surrender unto me, I reward you accordingly. So the more we commit ourselves faithfully to the practice of sadhana, strictly following the rules and regulations, then the sooner it will be that we come to this, to experience this bhava. In the Nectar of Devotion, there's an example given about one lady that she danced all night to awaken ecstasy of love of God. She danced the whole night. So, of course, doesn't mean that just because we dance all night does not mean that we will also feel that same ecstasy. But that mode, that determination that I really want to come to the higher levels of devotion. So we have to follow. We have to do sadhana. We have to faithfully hear and chant. And we have to read the books carefully. We have to worship Krishna. We have to chant the holy name constantly. We have to hear for a long time. If we go on hearing and hearing regularly, just like reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada said, if you read Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, one day you will see Krishna in the pages of the Srimad Bhagavatam. We just have to be reading. We have to be conscious. Read and hear and worship, and certainly one day we will come to that level of bhava. Of course, you can read also Nectar of Devotion, the different characteristics of one who has achieved that level of bhava, that they're very attached to, it's not just only ecstasy in the body. It's not, there may not be that quivering of the body. There may not be the shedding of tears and so, but still one can be on the level of bhava. There are different qualities and behavior of one who's on the level of bhava. One is that they're very attached to the chanting of the holy name. And they're very attached to the holy places. They want very much to be in the holy place. They're constantly meditating on the holy place. And they're very detached from the material world, from the material affairs. They have no interest in these things. So there are 9 different qualities mentioned there. You can read in the Nectar of Devotion, qualities of one who has achieved bhava and the different characteristics in their behavior, indicating that they're on the level of bhava. And that bhava, that is the seed of prema. And Mahaprabhu said, Prem Punarto Mahan. The goal of life is to develop love of God. So to get love of God, we have to first do sadhana. We do good sadhana, gradually you'll come to bhava, the level of ecstasy. And that ecstasy is the seed of prema. It's like one ray, and then prema is the full awakening of that seed, that love of God. So we have to follow this process, and we don't know how long it will take. It may come very quickly. It may take a long time. We have to desire. We have to want something very badly. Just like sometimes young people want something very much. There was a young person I knew, they wanted very much to get a scholarship to go to America, to study in the university in America. And they were so so serious, so committed that I have to get this scholarship, that they memorized every word in the dictionary. Every word in the English dictionary they had memorized, so that when they came to take some examination, they knew every word. They were so committed. I have to get this. So we should have that same kind of conviction that I have to get love of Krishna. I have to come to Krishna. I have to get this stage of Krishna consciousness. Yeah, it's a challenge. We are challenged. We have to be very committed, very determined that I want this very badly.
Maharaj,
We have to go to the
we
next
have to go to the aarti
Maharaj,
and
stop.
to the program.
Okay.
Sorry that I'm.
No, it's okay.
But I really want to hear more and more and more, but all the time limitations.
All right.
Please forgive
So
me.
now it's time for Aarti.
Haal deze dingen zwart.